bad against Day Laborer, Baritone Sax, and Lawton here. Ratings are 261 and 349 and 436. I see a fur cutter. I see a cotter. I see a bonehead. I see a couple vegetable uses with Nutrition Expert and Schnapps Distillery. Stone Sculptor is pretty solid. Yeah, these ox are fine. Pure Breeder could be fun with Nutrition Expert, but I'm not taking both. I'm just not. Gardener's Knife, also a nice excuse to have veggies. Yeah, these miners are pretty bad. First seat. I think I'm sold on Fur Cutter being really freaking good in some situations. And I'm going to take a very speculative Gardener's Knife here above a speculative Skimmer Plow. Something, if I find calcium fertilizers, then Skimmer Plow could be legit. Ranking of these ox. What more do you want to hear? Has Heart of Stone ever worked well? I have not dared to try, to be quite honest. In playtesting, it costs 6 food. Though I have to say, it's way better that cards that allow growth are too expensive rather than too cheap. You've used it once and regretted it? The funny thing about Heart of Stone is that these growth adders you want to have in a late grow game, right? And Heart of Stone also depends on the stage 2 flip in a kind of self-non-bowy way. Okay, there are some really good miners here. Not scales. I could take the sack. I think I'd prefer ash trees. If I had a veg source in the ox here, I would very strongly consider lettuce patch. I love lettuce patch. It's so good. Domestician makes some sense here with Fur Cutter. Hollow Warden and Open Air Farmer are both potential sheep stealers. I think Ash Tree's Domestician feels okay here. With Fur Cutter and extra wood saving from Ash Trees, and there was the Bonehead in pack 1 and Cotter in pack 1, I'm not convinced giving up 3 stables is something I want to commit to already. We also haven't seen a couple of packs that could have stable combos. Could not being a guarantee at all, but, you know, something to think about as a secondary consideration. Still no veggies here. This is very interesting. I guess Mineral Feeder in general, Open Air Farmer would be nice here. We have a Porter in the ox, so we take the Porter. Lynchit and Domestician both want the box house. And I don't have an early miner right now. So as fun as Mineral Feeder seems, it's hard to do. You once pulled off a Heart of Stone in a sculpture course game. That seems reasonable. Always pick it in case you need it and never used it. Funny. Stone 6 grow 7. And you got a stage 4 grow out of it. That seems good. Yeah, I mean, you want grow in 7, which is only a third of the time. And specifically, you really want Stone Reno grow, right? Okay, we completely whiff on all vegetables. Do not need an animal tamer here. Though the grain isn't necessarily bad. Site manager's fine. Stone carver's kind of silly with stone sculptor. Oh, wait. Tinsmith Master kind of does enable Skimmer Plow. The problem here is that Mole Plow is what I want to pick for the miners. Can I ever justify taking Stone Cart here? That kind of makes sense with Porter. But relying on Skimmer Plow to come back out of that really crappy miners pack, I'm not going to do. Could take Tinsmith Master anyway, because the crops are weak this game. Yeah, I like that. And then if Skimmer Plow shows up, we can consider ditching Mole Plow. But I don't think Bedmaker makes any sense here. Site Manager is fine, but nothing to be super excited about. It does work better with Porter. It's also another Sheep Stealer, which is not really what you think about first, but it is possible. An Animal Tamer also. I mean, the first sheep pile this game is going to be a little wild. Okay. Claw Knife also works with the mini pasture mineral feeder idea. Alright, turns out we could have gotten Skimmer Plow back, but that's not a risk I wanted to take. Like, all the miners, again, were junk. You started with Heart of Stone in 4 to build in 5? You see, you just took a 1 in 3 chance of losing 4 food. That's insane. Alright, I think we take this Skimmer Plow. It does combo with Mole Plow, but I'm probably just ditching Mole Plow. I maybe should have given more consideration to getting a crop out of the 4th pick Ock by taking Animal Tamer to make ash trees easier to hit. I don't know, that sounds like a stretch. Alright, so the difference between Skimmer and Mole Plow here is 2 wood, 1 food cost, and timing. And can justify Tinsmith stuff instead of the 2 wood, 1 food timing. So if that action is, if it's easier for me to get 2 wood, 1 food, and timing, then I just play Mole Plow, and if the reverse is true, I can play Tinsmith Skimmer Plow. Well, the granary makes a lot of sense here, actually. As nice as it is to run the sack, like, first seat canvas sack is really, really strong. It makes sense with Stone Sculptor, too. But the other funny thing going on here is we also passed a scales that got taken. So if I pass sack again, there's some chance that I get expensive ox second move round 1 if I open Reedstone. I do think Granary fits my game a lot better. And I might actually take Frame Builder here, because sometimes Porter ends up with a lot of hard-to-use clay. Housemaster and Stone Sculptor is a non-bow. I don't think I'm playing 7 Ox. Wait, that's not the right thing to click. Yeah, Frame Builder, you know, might be good for helping me Reno too, because I could use some Reno help sometimes. No one went for Mineral Feeders, sad. Milking Place negates Domestician Expert, which is tragic. And maybe I have a 2-point Blighter move. Yeah, usually I would say there's like a 1% chance of getting expensive Ock back round 1. This game I think it's closer to 5 or 10. Though I guess Baritone is the person who could have Canvas Sack. We'll see.
Hey, cool Porter.
Gonzo! Thanks so much for the tier 1 in the 17 months. I appreciate that so much. Porter is cool. Alright, Lawton is a scales suspect, but if Day Laborer takes 2 wood, then Day Laborer is the scales suspect. Okay. The Gambit was low probability to start with and did not come through, but that does mean we have likely killed off a Canvas Sack here, which is kind of a win on its own. With Fur Cutter, I would usually, and Domestician, I would usually take 2 clay here, but with Hollow Warden and Animal Tamer and Site Manager and Open Air Farmer and Mini Pasture and Animal Tamer, I said one of those twice. I'm not going to take 2 clay here. Yeah, that's like 5 sheep stealing cards in this draft. Potential sheep stealing cards. I'm excited to go with this potential Tinsmith Master Skimmer Plow combo. But I might end up just playing boring Mole Plow. Depends on my resources and the timing of my other cards. Granary, I think I'll be able to play fairly, or before round 8. Lynchit for possible stage 1 start player or parking. We have an interesting start from Baritone here, trying to delay going last for the inevitable scales. Day Laborer might take Grain Seeds. Whoa, Mini Pasture already, huh? That says to me they don't have open air farmer. Well, I guess it doesn't. Never mind. But we have had someone destroy 2 stage 1 food. It's always something to keep an eye out for. Increases the likelihood that you want 3 food in round 3 rather than waiting for 4 to potentially happen. And we got a grain seeds from Lawton, suggesting a potential sculpture course. And day labor taking 2 clay makes sense, though possibly they just wanted grain. Interesting round 1 here, which I was trying to encourage, admittedly, and we have major before sheep, so all those sheep stealers in the draft matter less. The Bonehead will open with a first pick Harpooner. Well, that does better justify the mini pasture. Fishing combos, do I remember any? Let's go with no. Lawton on Reedstone, which I would expect with Sculpture Course. Also expecting Lawton to start Sculpture Course. Sculpture Course definitely possible with the quality of miners in Pack 4. Though, if it is also Scales, then that has 1 less proc if Sculpture Course comes out early. Hollow Warden is happening here, and the benefit to playing Hollow Warden still, if they have Ock prereqs on their miners, or second move want to Hearth, but they also get a clay on Hollow, or a food on Hollow. So the food they're spending to Ock will probably come back to them. So 3 wood or 2 reed here. I think I'm just taking the reed. I was kind of hoping to play Porter here. Until Harpooner happened, though, I was concerned that it would be a bit of a low reed game. That not being Sculpture Course is a tiny bit surprising. This move is kind of underwhelming. Hey Sapka, that is what my first 2 Ox would imply. With no wood pile above 3 here, I'm assuming we see Lawton's Ock into a start Sculpture Course. It's just Reedstone, though. Land Air is good, and it needs to come out sooner or later. I am a little frustrated about not getting Freeok here. I have food issues if I go start player, take the Porter stack. Maybe. I'm not aware of it, Dictator, but on Monday it was very loud, and on Tuesday I changed 0 settings and it was back to normal. So apologies for any technical issues related to music volume. I do have some chance of getting 4 clay back. It's back to a little loud. Yeah, I don't know, folks. That 4 clay for baritone is somewhat surprising. Lawton still, well, can't dock right now. In general, more silent? Oh, I can tell you I am definitely not more silent right now. I mean, maybe I have been at some points today, but not right now. So it is just weird mixing from Twitch right now, as far as I can tell. Alright, day labor is starting, which gives me an open avenue to take 3 food traveling here. That's actually quite fine. It is a wood cart rushing out. All those ox does make some sense for an early wood cart. I'm a little lucky to get 3 food here. This does force day laborer to open 2 sheep. Maybe. Didn't have any music at all in the last VOD. That could be an artifact of a setting I changed a long time ago, but I don't remember for sure anymore. I do remember looking into it not too long ago. It's just, stuff's weird. So I think I get to open Porter Wood, and second action, I assume Lawton's going to be taking build ahead of me, which does give me time to play Stone Sculptor. Expect day labor to take 2 sheep and 2 reed this round. I also don't have to take Ox Stone Sculptor. I guess Lawton could have Stone Carver instead of Sculpture Course, but that grain move is kind of weird. Also, 5 clay and a food is a reasonable second action for me. So we have a lot of wood injection this game. A lot of wood injection this game, which does lead me toward Mole Plow above Skimmer Plow, and Tinsmith Master is still playable without any veg support. Am I connected to the internet? What do we think, chat? Am I connected to the internet? What's funny is that if you don't think so, you'll never have heard me. Hey, Zizak. It is tomorrow that I'm off for the con. Baritone is starting. We really need the second room that bad. Simulation. Check. Ah, of course, a forest lake hut. For a second, I was thinking Bedmaker maybe with that grain move, but lack of 6th wood. I assume forest for day laborer here, though Reed Bank is reasonable. Yeah, this start is annoying. I mean, it does make some sense. Okay, do I bother with this stone sculptor or not? I really don't know if I should. I didn't keep stone cart. So I took mole plow instead, not for sure getting skimmer plow back. I think maybe I'm just supposed to ignore stone sculptor. I don't need that side quest. What I don't like is that going for a double build, there's no way I get more than 2 wood next round, so I guess that means I take 3 wood if I want the double build route. Portering the clay is fine. Playing an Ock that's not stone sculptor is also fine. Blighter is a little too insane. It's a really fun idea here, but I think it's a little too insane to skip for Cutter. And possibly Domestician. Baritone going harpooning again, which is more reasonable with Forest Lake Hut. Yeah, I think I want Fur Cutter too often with this much stuff unknown. Domestician, Tinsmith Master, and Frame Builder could all be pretty good for me this game. Playing Blighter reduces flexibility considerably. First Cotter for Lawton. That was out of my first pack, along with Baritone's Bonehead. With the aggressive fight for room, I expect to take 5+1 clay in some circumstances here. Early growth is good for me, in general. Baritone does win that. Well, it's not really a gamble. 2 out of 3 times the growth being 5 or 6 makes this start player for a room pretty valuable. And even in some round 7 growth situations, Lawton doesn't park. Anyway, I can start first action if I want to fight Day Laborer for 3rd room. That gives up Porter value. It also makes Granary really hard to play. Because Day Labor's pretty clearly taking 3+2 wood, I would think. Lawton, if grows with something, probably wants to Ock second move. Pioneering Spirit is a card, and Scales does want you to play a card here, and Cotter. Blank cards are definitely something there. So if it goes 3 wood start player, does it ever go 5 clay, Ock 4 clay? Then I get Reedstone and get to double build. Otherwise, I get the Porter action that I want. I could just Granary with wood. I don't need to yet. I can make that decision based on what happens. Well, I'm never granarying with wood, actually. Because I'm either taking clay or Reedstone. I think. Sapka, I would appreciate less speculation. Typed out. Scale seems popular. It's probably come up in more drafts recently. It definitely has a higher play rate, I would assume, than average. Trying to figure out my backup plan here. Because Domestician makes things pretty interesting. I think I am going to need the backup plan. Because it could also just be one read. Okay. That's not what I expected to happen, but sure. The reason I didn't expect that to happen is because 4 clay came with a food. But I'm happy to build one room now, frame build a couple rooms later, possibly. Use clay for granary. Though honestly, wood for granary is not necessarily a problem this game. I am gonna do the slightly odd third room middle row. I could also consider stables right now, but I think that's not really necessary. Is this placement necessary? No, but I'm so likely to end with at least 4 rooms, and if not 6 fields, I think this is okay. And because I have another build action, most likely saving these wood for stables on that action is fine, or faster fences, though faster fences wants to happen with ash trees fairly late. I don't know. I don't really need the stables for sheep because I have this Domestician in hand, so... We have a claw knife. Actual claw knife sighting. 2 sheep seems like a pretty reasonable... Well, 2 sheep seems likely from Baritone, I'll say. Second action. Could be good. Lawton still can scales an Ock for net food. Picked up 5 clay for generic value reasons, I would assume. Day Laborer 2 Reed looks really good because any of the wood spots gets them to 10 and 4 after taking 2 Reed. On the other hand, Day Laborer has a pig for food. Four wood a strong action, of course. Usually 2 stables is what you do if threatening the animals gives you tactical value, or you have a billion wood eventually, but 9 or 10 now, and you're not planning to build again, or you're super sure that you get the breeding pair. That last angle, definitely not in this game. I think I'm gonna build again, so there goes reason number 2. And then the other tactical reason I wasn't really convinced of either. A steam plow for Day Laborer? They really want to be hungry. Like, what's going on here? They need to take wood in order to build? Otherwise, with this reedstone, I can build? What reedstone, says BGA? You're not allowed to take that action. You see, Atsido, I disagree with the clay for sure part. And, I want to get granary down, which 12 and 4 with no clay does not allow me to do. Plus, there are fun situations like this one where I can substitute a start action with a build action. The situation would be Lawton takes 3 wood here. And then Day Laborer doesn't have a wood action. But also double building guarantees that I throw away 5 more wood on rooms when the way the game shakes out might ask me to, or might give me a cleaner path to frame build a couple of those rooms in clay, for example. Lawton, unfortunately, is taking Ock here. Unfortunately for me. And Baritone did not immediately take the 2 sheep. Took 3 wood instead with a food. Start action the round before? Well, otherwise I let Day Laborer do it after they take 3 wood. Land Air Wolf is a fun combo because you could just get your breeding pairs of pigs in round 9. Um, However, Day Labor is taking the pig now because of food trouble, presumably. Yeah, so Lawton's going to steal the sheep, I would assume, is the point of Animal Tamering now. That was a thought to me, Zizak, but generally, when you go for the double build to secure 2 growths in a row, um, I didn't like how the Harpooner and Woodcart affected the potential Q struggles. I really like doing that line when I can, but I'm very hesitant when there's room part injection. Also, a part of this that no one's mentioned yet is that I might not need a full food action with this sequence. And I don't think, well, maybe saving a food, Lawton does end up taking the 2 sheep. It would have been kind of wild to not, in my opinion. Like, what action are you trying to buy by not taking the sheep here and forcing Baritone to take it first action? That's not clear to me. To read instead, I mean, that makes sense for some things, but this Animal Tamer move is... what is it doing? Like, if you want room advantage, block Day Laborer's ability to build a room this round. So now you're committing to start first action. Unless you're sure I don't have a food on my start. Yeah, this is weird. Day laborers may be realizing they don't have food to steam plow right now. I might just be missing things that my opponents have, but... the other thing, after Animal Tamer, instead of taking 2 sheep, could have Pioneering Spirited a cow. But that didn't happen. Pretty sure I'm getting 4 clay or 4 food or Reedstone second action. These stables are gonna do, like, nothing. Well, they have pigs. Access. Maybe those stables do something. Ash trees is a reason I really want this first grain from Granary. Not 3 sheep? What are we doing? What are we site managing? BMW? Pottery? I don't get it. Like, sure, there's some, like, blocking aspect to that, but... That's wild. What's that mini pasture doing? That round 1 mini pasture that forced you to take a second harpooning action in stage 1. Admittedly, the second harpooning action was efficient, but there's so much of this I don't understand. That is a strange reed stone. Unfortunately, I don't have start plus food here. And I don't think I want to start plus beggar. But it did cross my mind. I think there's a chance 5 food traveling makes it to next round. Not a huge chance, but I think there is a chance. 7 clay, not the perfect number. There's also that. I imagine Lawton takes a cookery on this move and then starts for a room, but could be multiple things for sure. If that does happen, I assume Baritone is fishing. Then I could take Porter or Travel. Or 3 stone. Those would all be available. Lawton kind of getting close to timing out. I am going to be a little generous with it, given the sight lag. The other one was a round 1 move. Round 1 second action, 1 grain. Um, we have a change of plans. I will be building next round. Leaving 5 food, 4 wood, 3 stone all on the table. Me building does... Well, day labor could take 2 of those actions. I guess I'm not guaranteed to get one of them back. That's probably worth it to not get one of them back. I mean, 5 food would be amazing. And I guess Lawton has a turn here too. To Ock? What are we Ocking? Hollow Warden and Site Manager both played. Cheap Fireplace is still gone. Like, what are we expensive Ocking here? Oh, Scales. Scales pays for it. Oh, okay, we just have an assistant tiller. Cool. Very cool. That does explain how Mole Plow was a 4th pick and Skimmer Plow didn't get taken out of a crap pack, but... Baritone fishing does mean I have to build here, and that's okay. Maybe like a 20%, 20 to 40% chance traveling for 5 makes it back to me. Yeah, probably closer to 20. Reedstone and then lose the well. That sounds like a fun sequence of 2nd and wanted but failing at a 3rd action. Building a hearth is reasonable. Building fireplace is reasonable because that still leaves enough clay to bump it up. Though with frame builder, I could still frame build a 5th room in clay. I don't know, a hearth seems pretty good with fur cutter. And I'm not sure the food injection this game is catching up with the resource injection. Which means I want to be a little timid on growing too aggressively. That said, I still think I'm building here. Because baritone building, I think, is just all bad. Clay oven is possible, because I don't need to sow 2 grain. I could pick up a veggie this stage, or at least before sowing in round 11. There are options. Reno is really not what I expected for Lawton. Okay, so my guesses at what happens this round is wood or food followed by grow for day laborer. I build. Baritone probably takes wood for food or stone. Lawton probably takes the last good thing. Yeah. So then I get Reedstone in a lot of situations here. Okay. And then, yeah, I'll lose the welded baritone inevitably. Oh, this is fine too. I guess it's kind of the same. I think I like Day Labor taking the stone. I feel least threatened by their game. And though they have really nice cards played and some synergies, they are lacking food pretty seriously right now. So I could build a stable here, but I think this wood is better saved for Mole Plow next round. Is that true? I need a wood action regardless. Single stable doesn't do much. That's my reasoning. But yeah, growing with Mole Plow is nicely timed. Tinsmith Master still playable for crop bonuses, but it's not looking like the timing works out that well. Alright, can I dodge Lawton taking 5 food? Probably not. But I don't really know what Lawton's thinking, to be quite honest. They've already done plenty of sequences I would not expect. Reedstone sets me up for decent third actions. I'm really getting this 5 food, huh? That's amazing. Nail Basket is good for Day Laborer. That's a really nice combo with Woodcart. But I think that means these 3 stone are getting distributed to the crowd. And that's fun news. Okay, things are definitely taking a good turn here. I do really want to play Mole Plow on Grow. So if Baritone starts, well, I won't know for sure if Baritone starts or not, to build. Kind of have to presume yes. Though Baritone taking Reedstone would start to indicate potential double build ideas. In terms of raw value, I'd prefer to take Reedstone with my next action. It threatens well. Unfortunately, none of my Ox give me wood super duper directly. 2 Reed and I'm absolutely for sure taking 2 wood. That is if Baritone takes 2 Reed. Lawton third action is going to be Tiller. What happens before that, I don't really know. Did Baritone not use Pottery? Baritone really didn't use Pottery. Hi, Trollo. Everyone's having the problem. I have not changed a single setting since Tuesday, or, well, not really. I mean, I turned my music volume down for today after people said, but I'm not sure it did much. Okay, a plow. We're plowing. Sound totally fine. Okay, well, maybe the iTunes volume adjustment I made, which was pretty steep adjustment, is actually making a difference. What is this plow? Like, the location says field fences. Just building a hearth is also pretty productive here. It is pretty productive. God, the downside is significant, though. So I guess this is the kind of the exact situation where we get to see if I'd rather do Skimmer Plow Tinsmith Master or take 2 wood here. And because I think I have a tactical benefit to taking Hearth here, with a pair of animals showing up, possibly, pretty possibly, and my long-term food not solved, I have this fur cutter that I want to do. I can't read Stone to Reno the Hearth for multiple reasons. I am going to take the risk that Baritone doesn't start, but if Baritone does start and build, then I go with the Skimmer Plow plan. I'm not getting a sow this stage anyway. I think Lawton is taking the sow. Even if Baritone starts, they wouldn't need to build first action. I would hope not. And yes, thank you for waiting. But hope and what actually ends up happening are kind of 2 separate things sometimes. And preparing for the worst is generally a good gaming strat. Making sure, as best you can, that you have good moves in the worst case situation. Those of you who have studied game theory know that as the minimax theorem, more or less, but for those of you who don't, there's that. Fences here does mean that it is not field fences. Or maybe it super does mean it's field fences. Do you think you're getting 2 breeding pairs? That's insane. Like, yes, we're all lagging, but we can still try to figure out our turns. Maybe it's fully lagging. Alright, if this isn't day labor, I'd be very surprised. The only alternative to day labor that I saw was 3 clay, but Baritone might have noticed that and taken 3 clay for that reason. I mean, I said it last time that Baritone was doing a few restarts. Like, it gives your opponents information, so just, like, try to play in a way and figure out all your thoughts before doing your move. And I get that sometimes you see things happen on the board and then realize how much you don't want to do that, but alright. I could 2 sheep first action if 2 pigs go. I don't think it's gonna go wood, wood, wood. Between my first and second actions. Pigs do imply that a oven is coming for day labor. It's like mildly sad I don't have Domestician out yet, but this is a sheep and 2 food, which is not a bad action for me. Also, you know, fur cutter out now would be nice, but we've been busy. We'll be at 4 people after round 9. 2 more grain coming in, have a plow played. There are so many worse things. I'm still okay playing Skimmer Plow, and in fact I still might if both 3 woods are gone. But again, I'd be pretty surprised to see Baritone take 3 wood with this action, given their thought of fencing. Yeah, it does look like they're doing something vaguely like Wood Slide Hammer field fences, though I guess they can't have both. Because I saw neither. Lawton might take 4 clay here, and does, threatening Baritone to build. This does not affect my grow action, and I do get 3 wood here, so I will go for the mole plow. The reason to not do that would be to save 2 wood and try to get a plow in this round, but don't really think that's happening. That is also something I didn't expect, Sapka. Just a clay oven for day laborer here. Saving the grain is very reasonable. Stone oven would give 3 more immediate food. And with steam plow, maybe that's something they want, but not needing to take grain again is kind of a big deal. By playing mole plow, I also need to eat this sheep, but not a big deal. I don't mind having more excuses to fur cut in stage 4 and 5, Or 6. Lawton can build here because Baritone's taking 3 wood instead of building. I confess I don't understand that one. Though, if Baritone's fully convinced Lawton was going to go day labor it's a somewhat reasonable risk, but the 4 clay was pretty suspicious. And Lawton is just going to take that opportunity to build here and delay delay the second grain field. Probably just the sowing of it. Day labor looks like a good last action for Lawton. Yeah, and I think even if I did have one more action to delay, in a pure hypothetical, I wouldn't. Because Lawton could eat 2 grain and a wood to feed. That is pretty steep, but it might happen in that hypothetical. Because the person with fewest actions took the stone and then played nail basket. But yes, it's all a little surprising. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. It's a little risky, but... I missed nothing. Excellent. Fishing, day labor, steam plow. Okay, going second, now with action advantage. Baritone has parts for 3 rooms. Definitely not the usual thing. It can't be like Animal Tamer's Apprentice, because Harpooner was the first pick. Two wood, one stone, reed stone are both tempting. But the wood moves are a little worse with Fur Cutter in hand. Flip cow. Dang it. Plow is probably the first priority here, despite Tiller and Steam Plow in the game. Baritone needs plows for this field fences that I highly suspect they have, given their undone moves. I think this is a mistake for Day Labor to Nail Basket here. There is no immediate utility for them to have their next set of fences. And their next wood move probably lets them fence out. So this just throws a stone to the opponents. I wonder if they're realizing that. My second occupation is still to come, which means that I can use either Oxbot for the same food cost. Frame Builder looking a little less necessary. I might just stay on these rooms for the rest of the game. Taking one more clay action with Porter is not bad. I guess Frame Builder can still save me stone for a Reno. And I think the fact that we got to this point, even though I haven't played a second Ock yet, you might be thinking, why didn't you just play Blighter for 5 points in round 1, Lumen, or stage 1? But a Fur Cutter I think is going to be huge. I really think Fur Cutter is going to be huge. Veg for Lawton is reasonable. I was looking at Veg. I guess less so now. Food plan for this stage is completely destroy the animal economy with Fur Cutter. I don't really have better. Isn't Skimmerplow a 2-Ock miner? It shouldn't be. Oh, it is. I was going to try to and fail and be sad. Alright, so do I take time to read stone here? This delays taking an animal with Fur Cutter. Day Labor has put me in second next round, though. Okay. Should be fine. So Fur Cutter and Animal here. Open next round on animals if possible. Oh, baritone threatening the well? That's unfortunate. Was definitely thinking of renoing the well next round, but now I can't. Yeah, you're undervaluing it. Because it can be 6 wood, but it can also be like 12. I'm guessing Lawton grows mini pasture, and I don't think mini pasture gets to me, regardless. Uh, ooh. If Lawton wants to sow. I'm okay not renoing the well, just building the well flat out. But, stone oven is not really a downgrade if I get grain sown. Okay, guys, I've given you my explanation. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but is baritone actually going for the well? Do I care? No, I'll take stone oven next stage. That's healthier. The interesting question here is, do I take single pig or single sheep? I'm probably overthinking it, and I'm just supposed to take pig. Baritone's not building the well with this move. Single room. I really need 2 grain fields, and Lawton is definitely going to sow first action if I haven't sown. So I'm not going to take a 2 wood plus animal move here. That's not great. It is probably the right thing to do long term. I mean, just the fact that I'll be able to play ash trees is fairly huge. Also, 2 food on Lynch at this stage has to be good. Oh! Well, that's interesting. Rammed Clay showing up. Okay, day labor can steam plow and pure breed a pig. My hope, which is maybe too hopeful, that day laborer will take 2 sheep rather than 2 pigs in an effort to breed both types. But I don't think they find enough food to regardless, which means they should maybe just take the pigs. We will see. And we get there. That's pretty cool. Okay. Very big. This is Baritone's chance to plow. And possibly take a cow. I think I'm going to try to greed an extra wood out of the cow grab. Doing it third. It's maybe stupid, but I'll go for it. Baritone, I assume, wants to run BMW and grow. Which makes, for clay, pretty important, or fishing. Maybe fishing third action, which makes this action run BMW, grow, fish, and that be their sequence. That pottery is really misplaced feeling. Probably don't get much more porter clay this game. This has been, yeah, not a great porter. Three wood and a food instead of Reno or fish, one of them. I'm going to assume fishing is the one that gets relegated here. Early grow does do that to porter. Ram clay showing up is also unfortunate. This frame builder is actually going to happen, though. Assuming I get plow, we'll see about that cow. I have my doubts. But frame builder could be played. I don't want a Reno yet. I want to Reno the stone oven, ideally. Reed stone food, still good for the stone Reno. Veg. Start ash trees. Fine options. Some of them are going to get taken away, but overall, a fine number of options. A barley mill. Lawton saying, or day laborer saying, sorry to dominate the start player. Lawton saying I would be more annoyed if I didn't feel okay about my game. With the last stage, I was threatening start ash trees. Day laborer knew they passed it. Oh, I guess Ren BMW is the delayed thing for Baritone here. Because of course we have a drift net boat. Did I see that? Maybe. That would would be a bit of a shocking first minor pick. So I'm going to assume I saw it. Lawton with an Ock here. Still Scalesing, which is nice. Oh, wow, we're going for the nutrition expert. There are not enough veggies this game for a good nutrition expert. Like, it's passable, but... Okay. I do get a third action cow here. Excellent. Now, do I eat the cow or pig? I think I eat the pig. Because I don't think I'm ocking. And even if I do, I have to eat both. Oh no, I have a lynch it. I have a lynch it. I can Reno ash trees. Just to try to get my fences out a little sooner. Because I want to play ash trees and stone oven soon. I think veg is still the safe play here. Lawton sowing now to not fully reveal the last move, which I think is day labor anyway. Yeah, probably. Or it could be cookery. Ash trees or veg? Or expensive frame builder. Reno Q does look pretty bad. Though day labor is kind of far from Reno parts. Maybe the Reno Q is not so bad, even though there are only 4 renovations remaining. These two players seem kind of far from their next Reno. There's a TikTok account where a guy has a rampant cow in his house just eating everything. I don't really have a reaction to that. That's just wild. Alright, so I am set up to take Grove here. Oh, wow. Day Labor spent 2 stone on Barley Mill. I'm just realizing. Instead of Nails basket stuff. Huh. People are crazy. People are just crazy. Okay, so in terms of stone usage, if Baritone goes for BMW, things will be fine. I might have ways to get the well and the stone oven. That would be incredible. If I end up with extra stone due to Frame Builder, I can either save the wood on Frame Builder or more likely play a late Stone Sculptor. I have adequate options on that front. Because Reedstone 3 stone gives me 2 extra stone on top of frame built Reno, stone oven, frame build Reno. Is frame builder worth it? An action and 2 wood for 2 clay, 2 stone? Maybe that's just not worth it. Especially because I'm having trouble with the stone. Baritone accidentally clicking into the abandon option, perhaps? Oh no, day labor saying so slow. There's a chance day labor doesn't take cultivation and takes grove instead, which is kind of why I took the veggie. But yeah, I just don't think there's enough veggies in this game for nutrition to be worth real points. Like, the food is definitely good, but it's going to be a bit negative point-wise. Not that the points to food conversion is that bad at all for Lawton's position, but it isn't going to be game breaking in any way. I could just start for round 13 cultivation and get ash trees down. That's probably the right move. Like, the Porter wood stack is good. It's definitely good. Oh, it's not asking me if I want 5 anymore. It's still doing that, though. The vertical placement. Three stone for baritone, okay. That looks like well in BMW to me. And again, I'm okay with that. Stone oven is enough for me. I don't think I ever get 4 wood. I also don't really need it if I plow. Because I could just choose to end with 8 fields. Eight fields, fence 10 tight is, like, valid. That actually seems surprisingly valid here. Should I just go for it? The timing of fencing is also nice to get in the way of Lawton and baritone. Well, baritone has field fences, perhaps. Day labor can fence on wood actions. But fencing now also enables good fur cutting this round. We find ourselves at fence o'clock. Now the interesting question is, how creative do I get with this? Let's have some fun. Yeah, Baritone's just like not aggressive on fields at all. Second spouse. Okay, so we will all grow to 5 this game. Maybe. No. I plan on cultivation for my first action next round. If this clay stack persists, I might take it. But cow wood is good. The wood is only stable material, as Lawton takes a nutrition move, or at least thinks about it and decides against. 3 reed. Day labor gonna fence out here. No. Saving 2 wood for what? Oh, steam plowing. I would, if I was day labor, I would fence out and delay the steam plow wood grab. Switching the spot of nail basket is okay. Okay. Alright, this is definitely a good move in my opinion. Everyone JFR. Like we usually say, I've taught people how to play pretty well. Alright, this cannot be stone oven for multiple reasons, thankfully. And it is going to be BMW with parts for a stone reno. Oh, I'm getting ideas. I'm getting ideas of building the well on my next move. Lawton is building a room. Amazing. So I will get to 5 in the last action of the game. Why are you building? Save, like, joinery is pottery for you. Like, there's... Huh, okay. I don't need stone oven right now if I'm cultivation. This is a bit of a weird pivot. Off of what I thought I was doing. Okay, you are playing mini pasture. I mean, Lawton has increased his ceiling this way. I mean, I played a no one built well game not too long ago. Cultivation. Baritone might plow or start. Lawton is a threat to 3 stone. The other reason I'm willing to delay Stone Oven here is because Gardener's Knife following a full cultivation here is pretty darn potent. Sowing 2 extra grain, and then Gardener's Knifing is a lot of food. I feel like Day Labor wouldn't turn down 8 wood. So I'm hoping that, like, if I don't get 3 stone, I should get a breeding pair, but we'll see what actually happens. Day Labor also might overvalue Urgent. The reason I don't care is because we'll both get it, and whoever takes it this round nets an action. But the points are kind of guaranteed if you allow time for it. Two pigs for Baritone is a notable loss for Lawton. Great. I don't know if I could have wished for a better outcome here. Cow instead of 2 sheep is surprising. Like, it is not as good for Lawton, but it's also not as good for you, I would think. Claw Knife being underwhelming this game, but not in the usual way. Okay, I think I don't have time to Reno twice. So Frame Builder and Clay are equivalent in getting me to Reno, and this is definitely the better thing to take off the board. I'm getting 4 food just from Lynch It. And then 4 food again. And I have 5 extra grain. What I think that might mean is that I don't need to bake in the stone oven at all. I have no idea what Baritone is doing, by the way. Not plowing or starting feels insane to me. Having Open Air Farmer makes that make a little more sense, but of course it's not legal. Awkward. Lawton opting to just fence here. I imagine it's fence 8, leaving 9 wood. Yeah, for 2 joinery, eats, and assistant tiller to do work. Oh, and I have a well food too. Day laborer being a hero. I mean, that's really nice for me. Veggie is an interesting move here, but I am going to go for just Reno, get that out of the way. As established, I do not actually need to bake in this oven. Okay, so 4 actions next round. Plows a couple points. Animals are points. Grow last action. I mean, Fur Cutter for 5 wood is probably not better than Blighter. But I did get something useful instead of playing Blighter, right? I took resources of some kind, and that helped me get the first 4th action. Yeah, because this feels like, hindsight, one of the better Blighter situations, and I'm still not sure it was better there. Because even this bad Fur Cutter has been good, I will still claim. This Lynchit, huge, by the way. It's going to be a 10 food Lynchit. I know there are a few Lynchit believers out there. Lawton has a card. Maybe it's food related? Sure is. Wow, my aggressive cow moves have been important. But also, Lawton had a way to get breeding cows in stage 2. Lawton could have had breeding cows in stage 2 and chose to take sheep, which were stuck in his house forever, and has a milking stool? I mean, I'm glad I gave some punishment by taking single cows mildly aggressively with Fur Cutter. Yeah, Pioneering Spirit missed the spotlight. Alright, let's see. So what do I want to do first? Could take a pig. Or I can plow. Who am I worried about points-wise? I mean, maybe Lawton. I guess, yeah, so I should take a pig. Ren Field Fences is 3, 6, 10 points for Baritone. Pottery is nothing. BMW is not going to be much. Or at least probably not more than it is now. They have grain and cow still to take. Day Labor has a Reno, and it's not clear what else. Like a steam plow, but and a cultivation. It's a 4-point cultivation. Lawton needs a veggie now. I mean, I think I'm supposed to open with pig, then plow or sheep. One stable is also possible. I guess reg fences is better. Regular fences is better. This looks, yeah, this has to be field fences. So this plow is worth 3 points. The third point being the field fences value. It's an interesting 4 wood. Day Laborer taking Reno Major, both to get a fireplace on Reno, and also potentially blocking a field fences. Not clear. Okay, so baritone. If I let them plow 29, 33, 36, 41, 42. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have that covered. I don't care if someone else fences. Alright, this is the farm arrangement I was dreaming of when I put my fences down. Snake fields. I would like props for my vision. Mega Zigzag. Almost valid Tetris board. That's true for all Agricola farms. There's 15 spaces. You can't put 4 Tetrominoes in a 15 space thing. Yeah, and Lawton's on a 1-point action here. Hopefully. I mean, if Greening Plan comes in, that would be scary. Day Laborer has an Ock. Oh, nice Village Peasant. 4 points. This is for the Cool Farm Club. I have gotten some cool farm action. Alright. No Greening Plan, please. Yeah, I'm gonna get 46 here. And it looks like Lawton just has stables as an idea. So I'm gonna say I have this one. Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever had this layout either. Definitely happy with it. Also, I really like how Linchet has just been better Barley Mill. That's how bad Barley Mill is. It's 3 to 5 more resources expensive and does the same thing. If I was more afraid of Baritone's score, we would have considered a fishing block. Summer House, if I knew I was getting to 8 fields, yes, I could have Summer Housed. Lawton will be fed on 2 raw grain. Oh no. Doesn't have 2 raw grain. That's fine with me. Day labor eating 2 pigs. Can't play mini pasture. Automatic trough. Okay. Alright, so the scores don't end up being super high this game because everyone's food efficiency was pretty bad. I mean, this harpooner didn't seem bad in a lot of ways, but Baritone just didn't really get farming until too late, it feels like. Baritone's score is like 43. Yeah, breeds 1 point. But it looks like Lawton needs to eat a point. Oh, just kidding. So Lawton also makes 43. Can do it fancier with Reedstone. Or Sobake. Sure. It's all a point. Day Labor says, ate an extra pig by accident. I think it's fine. I think Day Labor's food is gonna need to eat an animal regardless. Gets to 7 after raw grain, would be at 5. Yeah, I think it's all the same. Hey Lawton, GG. Alright, well, I'm happy to get this win. I feel good about my decisions. Definitely got boosted by Day Labor starting like 3 times in the last 5 rounds or something like that. That was undoubtedly huge. But I also think that I took advantage of situations where I was more accurately valuing certain moves on the board, getting things done on the farm. Yeah, Fur Cutter ends up being 8 wood, though 4 of them unused. But if we fence instead of sheep, or fence instead of plow rather, we end up using that wood. We're a bit over 2.5. Yeah, a bit of a slow game, a lot due to the lag on BGA. BGA servers were not fast today. And a bit of a slow start. Took about 20-something minutes to get the game, despite my efforts to try to start the stream when the queue is close. What I should have done first was check if I'm queued with a quitter or not. But now I know. Alright, 9 offboards all on majors. I was the fastest. Cool. Took the least amount of wood from the board. Most amount of clay from the board. That's Porter for you. That 5 food, or was it 6? No, it was 5 traveling was so big in round 8. Yeah, and this farm arrangement is a lesson that if the animals are bad and you have a plow, like a really good plow, you don't need much pasture space. Like, this is not a common pasture arrangement, 3 1x1s, but in some games it's more than enough. Because what matters is that I got 3 points here on pastures. Like, if you see my scoring category breakdown, 4 field points, 3 pasture points, 4 grain, 2 veg, 1, 1, 3 on my animals, you're not going to guess that this is my final farm arrangement, because that's so frequently something like this farm arrangement. Or maybe this one. But just, don't get too locked in on certain farm arrangements, depending on what's in your hand. It said I got 9 wood from cards, which would be 1 here and 8 here, but that does ignore the 5 fences from ash trees, so it's more like I got 10 wood from cards with 4 unused. But practically it could have been 12 from cards. Again, with that line where I get 6 total from Fur Cutter and spend the rest on a fence action. Yeah, cool. Lynchette also really good. Alright, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Again, I'm off tomorrow and Monday. I'll be at Strategicon, my local gaming convention, so I will not be streaming. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks, Gonzo, for the Tier 1 for 17 months earlier. Hope you enjoyed this game, and I will see you all whenever you come back next. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day and weekend. Bye.